Hello, grown folks. This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. How's everyone? Thought I'd come on through and talk about some grown folk topic today. It's been a lovely day, and now we're into the evening, and so it's time to cool off and relax. So, on that note, topic I want to bring forth today may not be for everybody, but we're going to talk about it anyway. You know, there was a post that I put out there not long ago about what if he's too large? If he's too large, what do you do? How do you make it work? How do you maneuver things? You know, and it really took off. There was a lot of interesting feedback. People kept it 100. People were in awe that you even talking about something like this. But then there's those who appreciate the openness. So on that note, I'm going to talk about the opposite. What if he's too small? Just too small. Now, too small for some may not be too small for others. Okay? Because I believe that all women are different. They're different with their sexual appetites. They're different with their physical makeup. They're different with their needs, wants, desires. They're different with what they like and don't like. Just like men, we all have our differences, whether we're the same sex or not. So let's just say typically a man who is extremely too small for the average woman. Now, we can go there and talking about inches, you know. Who's to say that 6 inches is small for somebody who has a very small tunnel, or 10 inches is too big for someone who is wide open? I mean, but let's just kind of keep it, let's just keep it on one zone here. So typically, let's say that he is extremely small. He may be I don't know, 4 inches. Let's say 4 inches, which is 4 inches or smaller. And that's on an erect basis, 4 inches. Now, this video is not to embarrass anybody or to downplay anyone or to make anyone feel uncomfortable. It's just real grown folk talk. So what I want to know is, how do, number one, men, if you are one who's small or just want to give some advice, wisdom advice to the ladies out here, what are some of the things that she could do to help in the process of a man being too small? And a lot of times you don't know this until you get into the actual foreplay and act and you find out, whoa, you know, it's not like you go around touching and feeling on people beforehand. So when you get in a natural act and the person is supposedly erect, you say, oh my goodness, that's little. Or if you don't see it, you don't feel it. You know, maybe the lights is out and things is getting ready to go down and you just don't feel nothing, but it's there. So men, what is it that a woman should do in a situation like that? You know, what advice would you give her? And women, what would you do if you was in a situation where you was really vibing and feeling this young man or old man or in between man, age man, or it don't matter, whatever age. I say young man because they all young men to me. So if you was feeling this young man and everything was on point, personality, man, character of the person, looks, swag, they had a good mindset, they had morals. I mean, everything was on point. But it came down to the nitty gritty, time for you to get down, and you noticed that he just didn't have much at all. Now, the man you was with before him was endowed, and you got accustomed to that. But as you grew and matured, you realized that it wasn't all about that. He was endowed in that area and pleased you, but everything else was missing. But this particular man has all the qualities and things you need, but he's kind of small. So, ladies, what I want to know, and those who are watching this video as well, what would you do in a situation that a man, you find out he is too small? And men and women, do we want that conversation to take place prior to the sexual act? Say, for instance, you're out to dinner and you're having some lightweight conversation about life and feeling each other, and things kind of go to the left. You start talking about sex and how many times a week, or you highly sex, or you could take it or leave it. You just kind of go there with some off the wall conversation. And so is that a good time for a person to say, I'm a pleaser, but my inches is short? Or is that a good time for a woman to ask, well, how big are you? I mean, does these things come out beforehand, and how? Some may take it to the telephone and asking that, or they may send a little message and asking that. I mean, but why is it so important on the size? There is a lot of skills and techniques that one could bring to the table that has nothing to do with size. And then there's also those with size who doesn't have skill and techniques. So they got all this beef and don't really know what to do with it. So in your individual case, or just hypothetically stating or wanting to share, what is it? What's your take on this? How should it be approached? And if it is something that falls into your lap right at the time of the sexual encounter, what do you say? Or how do you deal with it? Or do you just get through the moment the best you can, be tender with him, and just don't see him again? What is it that you would do? Because, as a younger person, perhaps 20s, 30s, it's all about getting it in, getting it in, getting it in. So that may be something that is high on the priority list. She has to be a certain way, he has to be a certain way, or I'm just not going there. That's what the younger generation seem to focus on, because it's all about sex, 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 sex. But as you get older, there's other things that become more important. There's couples who had a really, really strong sex life and something happened where things changed. Maybe a partner got sick. Maybe they became medicated and can't really do things the way they used to. Maybe they're paralyzed. There's things that occur that take away from the way they used to get down, and you have to be really, really creative in order to still please one another. So it's not, well, I need to leave this person because now they can't, or say, Lord forbid, something happens and somebody's whacker got cut in half or something. I mean, I don't know. It was long and now it's short. I mean, so what do you do? And I'm not trying to make fun of this, so don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to Have you opened up your thought process? Share your creativity, because somebody out there may want to hear this. They're watching this video. They're struggling with some things. They really don't know how to present this, especially a man, because a man is really macho and his manhood, and sex has a lot to do with his manhood at times for some men. And when that is jolted or swayed in any kind of way, he feels less than a lot of times. And or maybe I'm wrong. If that's not the case, share. Please let us know. Correct this situation right here, because inquiring minds do want to know. So on that note, I am your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D, and I am here to share some grown folk talk and discussion with you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join me on Facebook, Donna Smith. Join me on Twitter, Miss Lady D111. Also, you can email me, dgrier12,000@yahoo.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys again the next time on another grown folk topic of discussion. I am your hostess with the mostest, and I'll leave you with this. Be grown or be gone. Have a good evening, everyone. Until we meet again, good night.